Kayung Grekam Kachanat Divisional Forest Officer DFO Giant Hills Wildlife Division haka arpa witrik da pengkut kaya katayaw lekmen Wildlife Wing haka yalang wadapan man hayung wali kador barch nang pepele juai. Haka ni kasi pengkut na ilang kachanat Wildlife da pengkut burom haroko daga Wildlife Samaritan Award yakat perangut ki berusamen kamjo so terli ki kenhun ki wana West Jaintia wana East Giant Hill District hajrong i embenta yongki upalaj im yaki jaj marat waper. Dem lang hagani gasngi USM Sahai Principal Chief Conservator of Forest Wildlife kam ukongsan kadivi lengdo EDC West Giant Hill District UPK Agrahari IFS Chief Conservator of Forest Wildlife UPKD Assistant Conservator of Forest Giant Hills Territorial Division Juai waka Enlelu Divisional Forest Officer Juai. USM Sahai hawakalam kam ukongsan da yaro uya kajala Meghalaya ka WM yaki chnong kithaw wa chimkhia upenne pensa yaki khloo naduk ki porwarim wa ini daman le chibenta ipenne pensa yaki mrad khloo wa kijaj wa im haka naduk ki wakhen tam haduk ki wahe ongu wa kajala Meghalaya daman gole ka wa ar hakari WM yaki khloo ki wada e yadawe sumar kerpang WM slem de dawan nang kongko kam te kan tu ya kre lang yung wi po wi wo em iba khle nei ben tau e ya da ya ki khlo ki jam kam jo gimran wi ongule la dale I wani won wo bu he ma ya kram au I wa khaddo to I ma ya ubruhi chwa gani ka sngi ne liang ka chnat wildlife da ban man gole da ki ko wo pher kam I tho I see drawing wa ka extempore speech ki wa em ya to hajrong I em kam upane prsa we e ya da ya kimrat khlo.
The question comes why wildlife conservation is important. What is so great about wildlife conservation that we have to devote a full week and practically almost a month because of other practical reasons to carry out different activities which enhances wildlife conservation. The answer is very simple. We as human beings on this planet Earth, we have ignored all other species belonging to different flora and fauna in front of one species which is our own species, Homo sapiens. Just because maybe other species may look smaller, may not be speaking in the language which we speak among ourselves. But then if you go into deep, the importance of all other species, even for human survival and success, the importance of all other species of flora fauna is equally important or is equally there, if not more. Just because human beings, we have high intellect, we have come in terms of development of brain to a high level, we have tried to ignore the importance of all other species which are present here, which are equally important. And I'm not talking about which are equally important for themselves, which are equally important even for our own survival. We all know we rely on different plants for our food and also for different components of even fauna or the animals in different form, whether it is medicine or whether it is something else, for the survival and enhancement of human life. And if you see, many of the plants won't grow if wild animals are not there. And I think the awareness about the importance of wildlife should be enhanced even through school curricula also. Because I have experienced that the kind of importance wildlife requires or mandates has not been given due importance in all our school curriculum. And that is the major problem, that because of low level of awareness about wildlife, we are unknowingly not giving importance to wildlife conservation in a big way. which is actually otherwise required. And in relation to that, the importance of Wildlife Week is very, very important. It is filling the gap of what school curricula should have done otherwise. And that is why it is very heartening to see all the school children who are witnessing here directly to know the importance of wildlife conservation, which probably they should have got in their school curricula had there been due importance to wildlife conservation so far. Efforts are there to increase the share of wildlife conservation and environment conservation in our school curricula. However, it still needs to be augmented further. And when all these students, they are participating in different painting competition, essay competition, going for nature trail, even involving in live rescues when they are rescuing the wild animal, it will in a way help them in understanding the importance of wildlife conservation in a much more bigger way.
The Wildlife Week celebration, the concept of Wildlife Week, it started long back, somewhere around 1952, if I remember it correctly. Initially it was Wildlife Day, but later on it was decided to celebrate as Wildlife Week. That was much before actually an enactment called the Wildlife Protection Act came into being in 1972. Our forest leader just now, she gave a brief of various important provisions of the Wildlife Protection Act. What is prohibited, what is regulated under the Act. So we must have that basic understanding. It is very important to know various, at least basics of the various provisions of that Act. But our urge, I would say, to protect biodiversity and wildlife should not come because of there are certain provisions in the Act, and there is an Act which provides for certain penalties and punishments, etc. But that should come out of our love for the wildlife and nature, and out of our understanding that our own existence is depends on the existence of all the wildlife and natural resource around us. In fact, the theme of this year's Wildlife Week is also that, the conservation, it is conservation through coexistence. It's very heartening to see various awards and certificates going to wildlife Samaritans we have just seen. So that kind of commitment is very important. It should come from within, basically. I would congratulate all the winners and participants of different competitions and activities organized during the Wildlife Week celebrations here. And congratulations again to all of you boys and girls who have participated and who have won the prizes. So in the end, I will again urge all of you to keep in mind that it is our duty to put all our efforts towards biodiversity and wildlife conservation, because of the simple fact that if we must understand that if biodiversity has a problem, humanity has a problem. So it's serving our own cause.